Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Vodka. I'm your host, Rhea, and I'm handling life one shot at a time. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things pop culture, celebrities, gossip, trends, and let's become best friends. What? I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. Hey guys, welcome back. We have a jam-packed shot episode for you today. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but a lot of Housewives news. I cannot believe what has happened and transpired over the last week in the Bravo universe. I mean, it's insane. Before we get into it, a couple of announcements. I'm super excited that I am going to be doing a live show. We don't have all the details yet, but I wanted to get it out there for you guys so you can, kind of start marking your calendars and be aware of it. I'm doing it the second Monday in November, aiming for November 10th. At 7 p.m. It is a Monday. If you're local to here in Houston, please come out. I will have details to follow. I'm working on those as we speak and fleshing all those details out. Also, to keep you abreast on any live shows or anything that I'm doing over here, make sure that you've signed up for our newsletter at coffeemeetsvodkapod.com. Also, be following us on social at coffee.meets.vodka. That is on Instagram and TikTok. Also, subscribe to YouTube, Coffee Meets Vodka. And I'm super excited. I have a couple guests. It's going to be a live show. It's not going to be a variety show, but it is going to be fun. I mean, have I ever let you down and led you astray? I mean, it's going to be a blast. So mark your calendars. Be on the lookout for that. Also, I'll be going to BravoCon, which I'm doing the live show literally the Monday before BravoCon, and I'm so excited. I've been a busy bee, and I can't wait to see all of you in person. I can't wait to go hang out with all of my Bravo friends and just have really such a gay old time. I mean, everybody's been begging me to come earlier on Thursday. I don't know. I don't think I'll be getting in earlier. I know that everybody's doing stuff like, Thursday afternoon to evening. I kind of got in late to where I would not be the little star that burned too bright. You know what I mean? I just have a tendency to go really hard on day one, and therefore, I'll be hungover and tired. And it's not even about hungover. I really don't even know that I'm going to be drinking at BravoCon because I think I'll be so overwhelmed with the people and the doing things and the FOMO and Trey's appetite as well. So whatever. So I really just want to be stocked up on B12 and coffee and jacked up on Mountain Dew, Oh my God. Speaking of acting, can I tell you guys one thing before we get into today's episode? I'm so embarrassed, but I have to be honest with you. The other day, me and Kathy were filming something, like a little sketch. I'm mortified. I think it's terrible. Oh my God. I don't know. She was filming it for me, and I was like, oh, I guess we know why I'm back from LA now. Literally, the sketch was terrible. My acting was not on par. Oh my God, I'm so mortified. I wasn't warmed up. I was thinking about other things. I was an hour late to the studio because it's on the other side of town. And then there was traffic and I was running late. And luckily we had it for 2 hours, which was kind of stupid. But whatever. Anyways. And so we filmed the sketch, and I think we did get some good parts, but some of them are really rough. And yeah, it's embarrassing. And you know what? I came home and told my roommate, and he was like, why don't you take acting classes? Hey, what do you think I was doing in LA? Money down the drain, I guess. I still have hope. I think I was just off that day and I needed a little zhuzh. I should have shaken out all of the traffic and the worries and the being on time. And then if I had everything, look, you guys, if you want to add acting to my resume as well, because I do, I technically now have 4 jobs all the time. I got real estate, I got the podcast, I do marketing and acting. So it's I'm always thinking about something else. And going back to my psychiatrist, that's why I asked her for a lobotomy, because 1, it's hard to just deal with society, as you know. And then 2, it's hard to be thinking, I'm always thinking about something else, which I guess is also ADHD, and ADD. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I did wake up at 4:55 a.m. this morning, ready to go, potentially in a manic episode. I did fall back asleep for a couple of hours, so I'm hoping not, but I have gotten a lot of shit done today, so I'm excited for that. If you guys are loving the show, please rate 5-star anywhere you get podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at coffee.meets.vodka on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, let's get into today's show, because if you live under a rock, the Bravo to prison pipeline is becoming shorter and shorter, okay? Not only do we have what we're getting into today, but also Stephen McBee Sr. is supposed to be sentenced soon for his agricultural insurance fraudulent stuff as well. So I'll have to talk about that next week when Nushin comes on, which, by the way, also one more announcement. I am going to a luncheon next week called You Have a Purpose Foundation. It's, to support victims of domestic violence. Nushin and Jen of Her Opinion Show and Her Opinion Media Company are partners, and I'm going. I bought a ticket, so if you guys do want to go, it's on October 22nd. It's during the day because it's lunch at 11:30 a.m. I'll link the Eventbrite so you guys can sign up if you guys want to come, if you're local to Houston. That would be so great to support local and, that foundation as well. Support women, believe women, Okay, let's get into today's episode. I mean, the Bravo to prison pipeline is truly getting shorter and shorter. Over the weekend, we had Wendy Osefo and Eddie Osefo get arrested for 16 counts and 17 counts of insurance fraud. Hello? Apparently times are tough. I mean, times are tough for everybody. But what's also crazy is that they're doing this on one of the poorest franchises. No shade to Potomac, because I love Potomac Down. It's an amazing show. But we have to admit that it is one of the poorest franchises, and the fact that you're trying to keep up with the Joneses on Potomac and went into debt over that is a little crazy. A few things before I read the lawsuit. Apparently there's been some rumors going around. This is all alleged, but apparently, they've gotten into some debt because of Wendy, quote, resigning from Johns Hopkins University. Apparently, some sleuths have done some research and some people have spoken out. Again, this is all alleged, that apparently Wendy wasn't on the track to get tenure like she thought she was going to do, because she didn't do enough academia or academic reporting and research and papers, and because she's a commentator and a researcher and a professor. So apparently she didn't do enough to get tenure, so they were not going to offer her tenure. And I think it was either like she should resign or she would be fired or terminated or something. And I guess it obviously looks better, I guess, if you resign. So that's what I heard, or why I heard that she resigned. I also heard, in addition to her not doing her academic research and producing a lot of, research papers, paperwork, articles, things like that, is Johns Hopkins was not a fan of how she portrayed herself on Potomac on her first couple of seasons. So I don't know about all that. That's alleged. We'll have to see what transpires on this season of Potomac that just started airing, as well as, in the coming weeks, to see what's going on. I mean, we have the holidays coming up. So let's get into it. They were arrested on Thursday, October 9th, 2025. And then were out on bail, I think, later that day or the next day. I don't remember, but I think it was like a $50,000 bond, and somebody paid for it because they were home, later that night with the kids, and the lawyer put out they are happy to have their day in court or something like that. So get this. Yeah, an arrest. Okay, bail was set for 50K. Okay, I'm going to read the whole, or try to. You guys know I can't really read. I'm going to try to read the whole petition. So, a grand jury for Carroll County on 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statement to a police officer is what they were. But this is only this one. I think there's like, she has 16 and he has 17, or maybe they have 17 total between them, which is crazy. The allegations in the case are that on April 7, 2024 in Carroll County, between Wendy and her husband, who left to go on a trip to Jamaica on April 2nd, 2024, when they returned on April 2nd, 2024 at approximately 10 p.m., they found their bedroom and both closets ransacked and several designer handbags and jewelry stolen. Okay. The state's evidence shows that the state's evidence would show the perpetrated point of entry into the home is the owner's second floor bathroom window. Okay, make a note of that. None of the deck furniture was messed up. The security system was on. It didn't detect any motion. It detected animals and packages. It didn't detect that there was any motion in the house. It didn't set off the alarm that anybody was in the house. And then the window, I think, was like broken or open from like the inside. Like there was no gravel from the shoe that you would have had, or like no dirt, no debris, nothing from like the toilet, the ceiling, the window seal, like nothing like that. The Osefo stated they did not touch anything prior to police arrival. There was a screen with damage laying on the roof and the window not locked. To go in and out of the window, one has to step on the toilet, and the toilet lid was down with no debris when the sheriff's office personnel stepped on the roof and then back into the home when they tracked roof, quote, grit back inside. So when the police reenacted the scene, they had grit and dirt and debris on their shoe, but yet at the scene of the crime, there was no dirt and grit and debris. Yes, the ADT system didn't go off. The investigation determined that April 8, 2024, the Osefos initiated 3 separate insurance claims for the burglary and theft, travel insurance, Jewelers Mutual Insurance, and Home Site Insurance Company for the alleged losses suffered while they were away. Edward Osefo gave recorded statements to 2 of the insurance companies regarding the list of the stolen items. He was asked for whether the items had been returned, which he denied. He asked if he had other insurance, but failed to disclose the home site and the jewelers that he also was making a claim with the traveler's insurance. So they were filing 3 or 4 separate insurance claims with 3 or 4 different insurance companies. Okay. I'm just reiterating in case I'm stuttering like crazy. For Homesite, both Edward and Wendy signed a sworn statement of loss, which was notarized. The total amount of loss on the sworn statement was $2,500 for the building and $450,000 estimated for the contents and personal property. He included the inventory of reported stolen items along with receipts of the purchases of the inventory. The claim was denied due to failure to disclose the policy with the traveler's insurance. Also to note is that some of the items that they were reporting stolen were returned back to the stores. Okay, there's paper trail for that. Wendy reported on April 10th that there was a gold diamond anniversary band that was missing the same day that the traveler's insurance settled the claim for $25,380, which included the replacement of the band, $4,500. Okay, the Osefos provided an initial list of 57 stolen items. Included in the list was Wendy's diamond anniversary band that was reported in the traveler's insurance claim on April 22nd, 2024. So after they filed these claims, Wendy was caught posting on, I believe, the end of April with the same band that she reported stolen for $25,000. They didn't give away any of the jewelry and the bags to any of their friends. This is not a your friends and neighbors situation. Like, they can't even be smart thieves. They returned some of the items with the paper trail, and they most importantly kept the items that were recovered through Instagram photos and through their personal items when everything was looked at. So she went to a foundation or some red carpet event where she had the ring on, and they were like, "Is this the ring?" And she's like, "Oh yeah," or I don't know if she admitted it, but it was going around on social media. Also, the same day that she filed the initial insurance reports, she posts a photo with Eddie. Yo, this is crazy. It's still on her Instagram. April 7, 2024. That's when the same day that she filed the report, she puts a photo of her and Eddie up, and it's Jay-Z's Bonnie and Clyde featuring Beyonce. That is diabolical, babe. 2 things. 1, either they're not smart. 2, they've been doing this, they've been scamming, and they just got caught. The last thing, and what really I just believe is the nail in the coffin for them, I don't see how they're going to get away with this, or, I feel like personally they're going to have to do time. Even if they take a plea, like they're just going to have to do time, kind of like Teresa and Joe. He went a year, he came back. Teresa went a year, she came back, or, whatever their sentence was for the kids, because the last nail in the coffin was that Eddie was emailing Wendy to say, "Hey, I want to max out our $423,000 insurance policy. What else can we add to the list? Your Chanel bag? ? Hello? Email? And he's supposed to be a lawyer, an attorney? Yo, and you're emailing? You're putting a paper trail? That was truly, like, Twitter was so funny that day. All of the accounts were so funny that day because, like, I'm sorry, this is like writing on the wall. This is, to me, it's giving very open and shut case. I mean, and I'm no detective, I'm no lawyer, I'm no investigator, but I just don't see how they're going to come back from this. So, which leads me to believe, and another theory that was going around allegedly was that this is something that they have been doing a lot, because the lawsuit, the petition also states that they were in significant debt. So, and we're rewatching, I'm rewatching Potomac, and, this season just started. And, the mom is like, "Give me my allowance for this month." They're not going without. They have trust funds for the kids and all this stuff. One thing about Wendy, she's a Gemini, and I love Geminis. I do. It's my sister's sign. But I think Wendy's talking a little too much. She's doing a little too Gemini-ing, if that makes sense, because she's talking too much. She's digging her hole in the grave. There's also been clips going around where I saw one of their reunions, maybe it was last year or the year before, where somebody else was talking. I can't remember. And she goes, "Yeah, that's Housewife 101. Meaning like Bravo to prison pipeline, like scamming, like housewives are kind of scammy. And like now when you look at everything through a different lens, it's like, were they always doing this? It's kind of like when Erica Jane was going through her lawsuit, we started going back and the FBI was watching it, and, they were using all this stuff, shown footage, unedited footage, whatever, I'm sure, to help their case. Another thing that people are bringing up is that Dorit's robbery was staged as well, and it wasn't real. I don't know. I think that's also why PK might have gotten so annoyed with her, is because I really don't think Dorit knew. Like, and I don't think Dorit's like that great of an actress to where she could be playing this long. She's doing things off. I don't know. I mean, at the same time, it's like, if your life was at stake, I guess you would be selling the story. I'm not sure. But people are, kind of speculating, like, as soon as Wendy and Eddie got arrested, they brought for robbery, for a quote targeted robbery, they brought up Dorit and PK. Now, I don't know, maybe PK knew. I know he was going through some financial troubles, but I just wonder if maybe their case is going to be reopened too. I think a lot of people are wondering that. I just can't believe that, like, Wendy put all of her eggs into this Housewives bucket. Again, the Porsche franchise. Quit her job at Johns Hopkins. Missed 4 degrees. Eddie is a law degree and is a lawyer. She became Miss 3-wick candle or 2-wick candle, whatever. Karen goes to jail, Wendy goes to jail. Karen does candles, Wendy does candles. It's like, she really wants to be Karen so bad. Kern, She really wants to be current so bad. But they, I guess, are putting all of their eggs into this Happy Eddie basket, which is Eddie's THC gummy line. And they look high as fuck in the mugshots. And that would make sense if they're emailing and being like, hey, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's so funny. I mean, the only thing I feel bad for is the kids. The rest, I'm just like, it's so funny. I just feel like it's so open and closed and like Miss 4 degree wear, like, because it's not showing, you know? I don't know. So TBD on that. I mean, that was huge breaking news in the Bravo sphere. Also, Real Housewives of Miami. Wow. The reunion is done. Adriana needs to be promoted from a friend of to main cast because the way that she read Julia for filth, Julia was trying to set up Adriana to say, well, Andy, the reason why there's been rifts for the last 2 years with me and Adriana is because when we were in the Hamptons during, I think it was like season 4, when they all went to the Hamptons and then Adriana's like naked or topless or whatever and they get in the bath together and it's just like kind of weird. Like what is up with Bravo celebrities being obsessed with the bathtub? I don't know. And then they're spraying each other like whatever and they like, I guess they share a room, whatever. So apparently that was the night they hooked up. Well, also people are going back through. Lars is vindicated because remember a couple seasons ago that she said that she saw Julia making out with a black guy. And then at the reunion, Julia tries to come for Adriana. And Adriana is like, I'm done with this. I'm blowing the lid off. I have not been able to stop thinking about this because Julia said that her and Adriana hooked up in the Hamptons and then Adriana's like, well, I don't have a dick. We didn't have sex. Gloves are off. Adriana's like, okay, that's it. Like you and Martina were in a bad place. She was like, she was in a bad place. She was in a bad place. She was cheating on Martina with a Haitian mortician. And she would pay for the motel, pay for the champagne, and pay for the coffee maker as a parting gift. And then she said, and she was hooking up with the cop. Did you forget that little bit? And Julia is just like sitting there in fucking disbelief, dude. It was the best read. Like, we are truly witnessing history. I never got to see Atlanta or New York's Iconics lines in real time. But I'm so glad I've bear witnessed to Real Housewives of Miami becoming another iconic line. I mean, she was cheating on Martina with a Haitian mortician. This is twice that mortician has entered the chat of the Bravo universe, because remember when Phaedra quit being a lawyer to open a morgue and be a mortician? And then now Julia's cheating on Martina with a Haitian mortician, a man, and then she also cheated on, with the cop. So we have Haitian mortician, we have cop, and we have the black guy that she was kissing. And she doesn't see it as cheating. Now, another key theory that has been going around is that, to me, Julia and Gertie's beef didn't really make sense. I always felt like I was really missing something. And then Gertie had her celebration of life of being cancer free and whatnot. And then, she decides to post these texts, which TLDR, I'm sorry, Gertie, love you, did not pause to read, don't care. Apparently another theory is that Julia was setting it up to where Martina had another cancer scare and couldn't go on that cruise that she wanted to go on. And so she was playing it up and setting it up to where it's oh, I'm the victim wife, blah, blah, blah. And Gertie, being a good friend, was oh, I'll go with you. And I don't want to say kind of invited herself, but invited herself, and then it backfired on Julia. And then now Gertie's on the cruise with her and Julia can't hoe around for 7 days with Captain Sandy or whoever the fuck that she was planning to hook up with on the cruise because Gertie's there. And then she's I don't want Gertie sitting at this table with me and Captain Sandy. And it never made sense to me why Julia was so upset that Gertie quote, imposed on her trip when she said to Gertie that, you know, she needed support and, you know, because Martina was going through another hard time. So now that episode 2 of Real Housewives of Miami reunion came out, it's all clicking. It's clocking to us, you know? It's making sense that Julia's a cheater. And people are also saying, which I hate this, I already said that I feel like I have a dirty feeling, a bad feeling about why Julia wanted to adopt these babies. She has a 1 and a 3-year-old brothers. Why would you do that? She's like 50 something and Martina is 68, never had kids before, and now she's running around with these kids and she's already had cancer. I'm not saying that, like, you know, I hope she lives a long life, but like poor Diane Keaton just died of pneumonia at 79. You know what I mean? Oh my God, that was so terrible. But you know, it's like Martina is 68, so like in 10 years she'll be 78 and the boys will be 10. And Julia has the 3 girls that are already grown. So is Julia going to be like single parenting the boys? Like if her and Martina get divorced, or God forbid, Martina passes away. So the reason why Julia, I feel like, you know, allegedly adopted the kids was to get child support from Martina. Because Martina is now seriously thinking about filing for divorce. And they, I guess, you know, during the time when Julia was all talking about, oh, me and Martina are in a bad place, but like, I think a kid will bring us closer together. Like, I just love kids and blah, blah, blah. I think that was kind of her Hail Mary. Like, if she divorces me, I'm not going to get alimony or anything. But if I have kids that are young, that are adopted, that we adopt together, I'll get child support. You guys, I feel dirty. I don't like that. I hope that's not true. I hope those were not, you know, her intentions. And then Adriana is like, she's a fraud. Julia isn't even her name. It's Yulia, which is very, you know, European to spell your name like Julia with a Y. And I do agree. I'm over Bravo Lebs being like, oh, that's not even her name. Rachel Raquel, Lauren, like Lauren from Utah. Like, it's Lauren. Shut up. And then, you know, Adriana's like, no, it's Yulia, not Julia. I don't care if it's Julia Guglia, okay? Like, who cares? That, like, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, you know, people call me Gaia, and I could go by Gaia as a stage name, and, you know, but my name's Rhea, which is better, I would say. But, yeah, it's like Lady Gaga. It's like, that's obviously not her real name. It's Stephanie. I don't know. I think, speaking of Stephanie, I think Stephanie needs to be demoted to friend of. I don't know how between Marisol, Kiki, and Adriana that Stephanie got main cast member above them. I do know it's because she has the wealth, but we didn't get to hear any of her, you know, financial issues going on, allegedly. And they weren't addressed. So hopefully they're addressed this next season. But I'm going to need Stephanie to be demoted. And I'm going to need Adriana or Marisol to be promoted to main cast member. Probably Adriana. So good. If you guys aren't watching it, like, you truly are missing out. In other Real Housewives news, quickly, Portia is dating a woman. I mean, good for her. She's dating a man and she's dating a stud. Okay, I love that. She said, I'm going to choose whenever the time works for me. Mind you, Simon, I think, is in jail or getting deported or something, which is her ex-husband. Peter's in jail. Karen just got back from jail. Wendy and Eddie are probably going to go to jail. Jen Shah's in jail and getting out soon. Who else is in jail? Oh my gosh. One last thing on the Wendy and Eddie thing. I'm so annoyed. They scrapped her wife swap episode, so they pushed back the premiere of Wife Swap a week. I would be pissed if I was a family that swapped with her and then now my episode is scrapped. I also think it's a little, I don't know, cowardly dog with the tail between its legs of Bravo. I don't know what the word is, to scrap the episode unless it really does have something to do with the courts, or if they, I don't know. I hope that they obviously didn't delete it. I hope that they premiere it at a later date. But yeah, so we're not getting Wife Swap yet. I don't know when it's coming. I think it's just pushed back a week or two or a month, or I'm not too sure. But it was supposed to be premiering soon, and now it's not. Thanks, Wind. Zen Win. Okay, and lastly, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You guys, what is going on? Another one. I mean, another time, history and time of we are witnessing the best history on TV right now. I mean, we have Lisa versus Angie versus Bronwyn versus Brittany, and nobody can help but throw jabs at Brittany. They did on this last episode. They literally one scene. Whitney had her like garden party. Lisa and Angie were going at it. Angie was throwing her 3 black cards plus a Prada Amex bracelet tap to pay situation that you have to be invited for or sent by. Then Brittany was like, well, you didn't ask me to list your property. And, you know, her house has been on the market for almost a year. And, you know, then you have that side conversation. Then you have Bronwyn taking jabs at Brittany's hair. Then you have Kerastas in the mix. And, oh my, and then you have Bronwyn crying to them because so Whitney hired a psychic, a tarot reader for this garden party. And Bronwyn went and she comes back crying. Meanwhile, Lisa and Angie are just screaming across the table, fighting. Meredith's like, stop, let Bronwyn speak. And she said that the psychic told her that her mom isn't doing well because her dad has Alzheimer's and her mom is getting up there in age and like whatever. And her mom did not come across well during the season, or I mean, during her episode. I mean, that was terrible. She basically still said that she's ashamed of Bronwyn, meanwhile, is living with Bronwyn and Todd and Gwen's boyfriend. If that were the case, my daughter's 18 and your ass is living with me and you have benefited from me and my relationship and my wealth and my kindness, kicking your ass to the motherfucking curb. Maybe I'm harsh. I don't know. But those who know and know me, that I am an only child and I don't speak to any of my family. I have sued my family and I do not speak to my mom. So I have no problem cutting people off, you know? So it was great. We don't know about the soup man. We don't know what's going on there. It's looking to be like Lisa and John. There's some cracks in the relationship because as soon as the tarot reader mentioned a water sign, Scorpio, Lisa put on her transparent sunglasses and started crying. I mean, I wish you would be a little more vulnerable. You know, I'm sorry. Like, I'm team Angie. Like, Angie is supreme, which is sad because like I'm a Sagittarius. I want to be team Barlow, but she's just not having a good season. And Meredith is boring. I just feel like they're both not doing good. The only like good Sag. Okay, Adriana is a Sag and Nene, of course, Queen Nene is a Sag. So I feel like they're representing well. We have Garcelle, we have Lisa Barlow, and we have Meredith Marks, who in my opinion are just subpar Sages, but at least they all are December, which I think Meredith is November, which in my opinion makes a difference. Anyways, it is so good. I can't wait to see them at BravoCon. I'm truly excited. The people that I'm most excited to see at BravoCon are Real Housewives of Miami, Salt Lake City, Potomac. I do love the Green Eye Bandits, although I don't think Robin will be there, but they are vindicated. I also do like Ashley Darby, another Gemini. And Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality and Summer House. So only really, and I guess like a little bit of Below Deck, but nothing too crazy. Anyways, guys, be on the lookout for the live show coming up in November. Make sure you're up to date on all the info. Sign up for the newsletter. Follow me on social media. Subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. Give us a 5-star. Follow at coffee.me/vodka on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you next week. Bye.